Hey coin lovers! Welcome to the Worth Old Coins channel, your place to discover the hidden value and rare facts about old coins. In today's video we're revealing the top 5 valuable coins, and one of them might just be in your collection. So don't skip this video, let's find out their real worth. Top 1. The 1995 United Kingdom 20 pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a significant part of modern British decimal coinage, representing both the practical evolution of the currency system and the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's long reign. Introduced in 1982, the 20 pence coin filled the gap between the 10 pence and 50 pence pieces, becoming one of the most useful small denomination coins in circulation. The 1995 issue is especially important as it falls within the period of the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a time when Britain was still adjusting to the new decimal system, launched in 1971, and solidifying its coinage designs for long-term use. Struck by the Royal Mint, this coin was produced for circulation in large numbers and remains a common yet collectible piece today. From a technical standpoint, the 1995 20 pence coin is struck in copper-nickel alloy, 84% copper 16% nickel, which gives it a silver-like appearance while maintaining durability and resistance to wear. It weighs 5 grams, has a diameter of 21.4 millimeters and a thickness of 1.7 millimeters. The coin's most distinctive feature is its equilateral heptagonal shape, 7-sided design with equal sides and angles, which was revolutionary at the time of its introduction in 1982. This unique shape not only makes the coin instantly recognizable but also allows it to roll smoothly in vending machines, a practical design innovation. The edges are smooth, without reading, and the coin's relatively small size makes it convenient for everyday use. The obverse, front side, of the 1995 20 pence coin features the second major portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by sculptor Raphael Maklauf, which was used on UK coinage from 1985 until 1997. In this portrait, the Queen is shown wearing the George IV state diadem, a jeweled crown often worn during the state opening of Parliament. Maklauf's design is noted for its more formal and regal depiction of the Queen, showing her with a dignified expression and greater detail in her hair and crown compared to the earlier Arnold Machin portrait. Around the portrait runs the Latin legend, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1995, an abbreviation of Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The year 1995 is inscribed at the end of the legend. The reverse, backside, of the coin was designed by William Gardner and depicts a Tudor rose, a traditional symbol of England encircled by the value inscription, 20 pence. Above the rose appears a small crown, further emphasizing the coin's royal association. The design was chosen to reflect both national pride and continuity, linking the modern decimal coinage to the long history of English heraldry and monarchy. Its simplicity, elegance, and symmetry make it one of the most enduring and recognizable reverse designs in the UK decimal series, having remained unchanged since its introduction in 1982 until a redesign in 2008. Regarding mintage and circulation, the 1995 20 pence coin was struck in substantial quantities to meet the needs of everyday commerce. As such, it is not considered rare, and examples in circulated condition usually hold only face value. However, for collectors, coins in brilliant uncirculated (BU) or proof condition from official Royal Mint sets are more valuable and desirable. These higher quality strikes were specially produced for collectors, with sharper detail and smoother fields, making them a highlight in a complete collection of British decimal coinage. From a historical and cultural perspective, the 1995 issue reflects the United Kingdom's economic and political stability in the late 20th century. It came at a time when decimalization had been fully integrated into daily life, and the coin had already proven its utility and popularity among the public. The obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Maklauf also captures a mature and authoritative image of the monarch during the middle years of her reign, reinforcing her symbolic role as a steady figurehead during a time of both change and continuity in British society. In terms of collectability and value, the 1995 20 pence coin remains affordable for most collectors. Circulated examples are worth around 20p face value, but uncirculated and proof versions can fetch between £2 and £5 depending on condition and demand. While not a key rarity in the series, it holds value as part of a complete set of 20 pence coins, especially for those assembling date runs of decimal coinage or collections of Queen Elizabeth II portraits. In conclusion, the 1995 UK 20 pence coin is a heptagonal copper-nickel piece weighing 5 grams featuring the Raphael Maklauf portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and William Gardner's crowned Tudor rose design on the reverse. It reflects both the innovation of decimal coinage and the deep historical traditions of England. Though common in circulation, it remains a fascinating piece for collectors, representing the balance of modern practicality and timeless heritage within British coinage. Top 2. The 2012 United Kingdom 20p coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a key part of the decimal coinage system that has been in place since 1971, and it reflects the modernized style of British coins introduced in 2008, when the Royal Mint redesigned most denominations to create a unified shield of the Royal Arms motif across circulating coinage. The 2012 issue represents both continuity in terms of Queen Elizabeth II's long reign and change in the artistic style of the coin, marking a departure from the traditional crowned Tudor rose reverse that had been in use since the 20p coin's introduction in 1982. This makes the 2012 coin particularly interesting for collectors, as it belongs to the new Shield series of UK coins, which replaced older heraldic or floral designs with a fresh, modern interpretation of Britain's national identity. From a technical perspective, the 2012 20p coin follows the same physical specifications established when the denomination was first introduced in 1982. It is struck in copper-nickel alloy, 84% copper 16% nickel, weighs 5.00 grams, has a diameter of 21.4 millimeters, and is 1.7 millimeters thick. Its most distinctive feature remains its equilateral heptagonal shape, seven-sided, which is unique to the 20p and 50p pieces in British coinage. The coin has a smooth edge without milling. This heptagonal form is not only distinctive visually but also highly practical, as it allows the coin to be easily recognized by touch and accepted by vending and sorting machines, while still having a constant diameter across its edges. The obverse, front side, of the 2012 20p coin features the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley and introduced in 1998. In this portrait, the Queen is shown facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic pieces of jewelry. Rank Broadley's depiction is notable for its realism and unflinching detail, showing a more mature and lifelike image of the monarch compared to the idealized earlier portraits. Around the effigy runs the legend, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 2012, an abbreviation of the Latin Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The year of issue, 2012, is placed at the end of the inscription. The reverse, backside, of the 2012 coin is the new design introduced in 2008 by Matthew Dent, a young British graphic designer whose work was chosen after a nationwide competition. Rather than featuring a standalone emblem, the design is part of a larger puzzle. When all the UK coins from 1p to 50p are placed together, they form the complete royal shield of arms. On the 20p coin, only a portion of the shield is shown, specifically, the upper left section, which depicts the Lion's Passant Guard Ant of England. The denomination, 20p, is inscribed across the design. This fresh approach was intended to modernize British coinage while still maintaining a strong link to national heritage, as the royal arms have been used for centuries to symbolize the authority of the monarchy and the nation. Regarding mintage and circulation, the 2012 20p coin was struck in large quantities for everyday use across the United Kingdom. As such, examples are common in circulation and readily available. In circulated condition, the coin generally holds only its face value of 20p, but uncirculated examples from Royal Mint sets, as well as specially struck brilliant uncirculated (BU) and proof versions, carry a premium, often valued between £1 and £5 depending on condition and demand. The proof version, in particular, showcases the sharpest details of Matthew Dent's shield design and is highly sought after by collectors of modern British coinage. From a historical and cultural perspective, the 2012 issue represents Britain's attempt to modernize its circulating coins while maintaining deep links to tradition. By including the royal shield of arms in fragmented form across different denominations, the Royal Mint both refreshed the aesthetic of the coinage and created a unique visual puzzle that reflected unity across the series. Meanwhile, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley underscores the stability and continuity of her reign, showing her as an experienced and dignified monarch during her Diamond Jubilee year in 2012, when she celebrated 60 years on the throne. Thus, the 2012 20p coin carries both a national sense of modern identity and historical celebration. In terms of collectability, the 2012 20p coin is not rare, but it is valued as part of the ongoing story of British coinage and is of particular interest to collectors seeking a complete run of the Shield series or coins from Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee year. While its face value remains 20p, coins in proof sets or mint condition stand out as more desirable additions to a collection. In summary, the 2012 UK 20p coin is a seven-sided copper-nickel piece weighing 5 grams and measuring 21.4 millimeters in diameter. The obverse bears Ian Rank Broadley's realistic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, while the reverse displays Matthew Dent's innovative royal shield design, specifically the Lions of England. Produced in high numbers for circulation, it is a common coin but remains historically significant as part of the Shield series and as a representation of the Diamond Jubilee year of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Top 3. The 1975 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a fascinating piece of decimal coinage history that reflects Britain's transition from the pre-decimal monetary system, pound shillings, and pence, to the modern decimal system introduced in 1971. When decimalisation was launched, the 10 new pence coin was introduced to replace the old 2-shilling coin, florin, and for several years it carried the word new in its denomination to help the public distinguish it from older coinage and avoid confusion. By 1975, decimalisation had been in place for only 4 years, so the new pence inscription was still in use. Coins like the 1975 issue are now historically significant as they represent this early period of decimalisation, when Britain was adapting to an entirely new coinage system while still maintaining continuity with older traditions. From a technical perspective, the 1975 10 new pence coin was a large coin by modern standards, designed to match the size and feel of the older 2-shilling piece it replaced. It was struck in copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, which gave it a silver-like appearance and strong durability for circulation. The coin has a diameter of 28.5 millimeters, a weight of 11.31 grams, and a thickness of 2.25 millimeters, making it one of the larger and heavier coins in the decimal series. Its edge is milled, reeded, giving it a textured feel and helping distinguish it from smooth-edged coins of other denominations. The size, weight, and composition remain the same for all large-type 10p coins struck between 1968, when they were first issued in advance of decimalisation, and 1992, when a smaller 10p was introduced. The obverse, front side, of the 1975 10 new pence coin features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by sculptor Arnold Machin OBE, which appeared on all UK decimal coins from 1968 until 1984. In this portrait, the Queen faces right and is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most famous and frequently worn tiaras. The design was admired for its elegant and youthful depiction of the Queen projecting both modernity and regal dignity. Around the portrait runs the legend Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1975, which is the Latin abbreviation for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The year of issue, 1975, appears at the end of the inscription. The reverse, backside, of the coin was designed by Christopher Ironside, who created all the decimal coin reverse designs used at decimalisation. It features a magnificent depiction of a heraldic lion passant guard ant, a traditional emblem of England, crowned with the royal crown. The lion is symbolic of strength, courage, and national pride, while the crown emphasizes the sovereignty of the monarch. Around the edge is the denomination written in words as new pence, with the number 10 placed prominently below the lion to indicate the value. This design remained unchanged until 1982, when the inscription was altered to 10 pence, as the word new was no longer considered necessary. In terms of mintage and circulation, the 1975 10 new pence coin was struck in large numbers for general circulation. As a result, it is not a rare coin, and most examples found today in circulated condition are only worth their face value of 10 pence. However, coins in uncirculated, BU, or proof condition from royal mint sets are far more collectible and can be valued higher, usually ranging from £2 to £10. Depending on quality and demand, the coin remains an essential part of a complete decimal collection, especially for those seeking a full-date run of the large-size new pence series. From a historical perspective, the 1975 10 new pence coin is symbolic of Britain's adaptation to a new monetary system while retaining strong national symbolism. The use of Christopher Ironside's crowned lion linked the decimal coins to centuries of English heraldry and royal tradition, ensuring that the new money felt familiar and patriotic despite being part of a major economic reform. Meanwhile, the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin marked a key period in her reign, presenting a youthful but regal monarch as Britain modernized its economy and culture in the mid-1970s. In terms of collectability and legacy, the 1975 issue is common but holds charm as part of the new pence series, which ran from 1968 to 1981. These coins are historically important because they clearly distinguish the early years of decimalisation from the later coinage. Collectors often prize them as part of the transition era sets, and for younger generations, They serve as a reminder of the UK's changing currency and the evolution of coinage design. In conclusion, the 1975 UK 10 new pence coin is a large 11.31-gram copper-nickel coin measuring 28.5 millimeters, featuring Arnold Mackin's youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and Christopher Ironside's crowned lion on the reverse. With the inscription, "New pence," though common in circulation, it represents an important chapter in British numismatic history as part of the early decimal coinage bridging tradition and modernity, and it remains a valued collectible for enthusiasts of Queen Elizabeth II's coinage and Britain's decimal transition. Top 4. The 1974 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a historically important piece of early decimal coinage, representing the first decade after Britain transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, pence system to the decimal monetary system in 1971. The 10 new pence was introduced as part of this reform, and from 1968 to 1981 it carried the inscription "New pence" to distinguish the new decimal currency from pre-decimal coins of similar value. The 1974 issue falls in the middle of this transitional period, making it an excellent example of how Britain balanced modernization with traditional symbolism. It was struck by the Royal Mint in large numbers for circulation, and although common in everyday use at the time, today it has gained historical significance as a representative of Britain's decimal heritage. From a technical standpoint, the 1974 10 new pence coin was struck in copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, a durable alloy with a bright silver-like appearance. It has a diameter of 28.5 millimeters, a weight of 11.31 grams, and a thickness of 2.25 millimeters, making it a relatively large and heavy coin compared with the smaller 10 pence introduced later in 1992. The edge of the coin is milled, reeded, providing both an anti-counterfeiting feature and a distinctive texture. These specifications were designed to make the decimal coinage consistent, practical, and long-lasting while remaining recognizable and easy to handle. The obverse, front side, of the 1974 coin bears the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by sculptor Arnold Mackin OBE, which was introduced in 1968 and used on British coins until 1984. The Queen is shown facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic jewels. This portrait is widely regarded as elegant and timeless, offering a youthful yet regal depiction of the monarch. Around the effigy is the Latin inscription Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1974, an abbreviation of Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The year 1974 appears at the end of the legend, confirming its date of issue. The reverse, backside, was designed by Christopher Ironside, the principal designer of Britain's first decimal coinage series. It depicts a heraldic lion passant guard ant, walking with head turned outward, a long-standing symbol of England's strength and monarchy. The lion is crowned, emphasizing royal authority and continuity with centuries of heraldry. Surrounding the design is the denomination inscription "New pence," with the number 10 placed prominently below the lion. This inscription helped distinguish the coin from older pre-decimal issues, particularly the florin, worth 2 shillings, which had the same size and value as the new 10 pence. The design is bold, simple, and unmistakably English, linking the new decimal coinage to Britain's deep traditions. In terms of mintage and circulation, the 1974 10 new pence coin was produced in very large numbers to satisfy everyday economic needs. As a result, it is not considered rare, and examples in worn circulated condition usually hold only their face value of 10 pence today. However, coins in uncirculated, BU, or proof condition, which were included in Royal Mint annual sets, are much more desirable to collectors and can command higher values, typically ranging between £2 and £8, depending on condition and demand. The large-sized new pence coins are also popular with collectors who seek complete date runs from 1968 through 1981, before the inscription changed. From a historical perspective, the 1974 issue reflects the early era of decimalization, when the British public was still becoming accustomed to the new system. By retaining the size of the old 2-shilling coin and using traditional heraldic imagery, the Royal Mint ensured that the new decimal coins felt familiar and trustworthy. The coin also captures an important stage in Queen Elizabeth II's reign, presenting her in her youthful elegance at a time when Britain was navigating significant social and economic changes in the 1970s. In terms of collectability, the 1974 10 new pence coin is valued for its place in the New Pence series, which ran until 1981, after which the wording changed to 10 pence in 1982. Collectors prize these earlier coins as part of the transitional history of British currency. While common in circulation, high-grade examples and proof versions are considered attractive additions to decimal coin collections, particularly for those focused on the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. In conclusion, the 1974 UK 10 new pence coin is a large 11.31-gram copper-nickel piece measuring 28.5 millimeters in diameter, featuring Arnold Mackin's youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and Christopher Ironside's crowned lion on the reverse, with the inscription New Pence. Though common in circulation, it holds historical importance as part of the early decimal series, bridging Britain's monetary past with its decimal future, and remains a valued collectible for its design, heritage, and place in the story of Queen Elizabeth II's coinage. Top 5. The 1968 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is one of the most historically important decimal coins ever issued by the Royal Mint, as it marked the very beginning of Britain's transition from the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the modern decimal currency adopted officially in 1971. Unlike many later issues, the 1968 10 new pence was introduced 3 years before decimalization as part of the so-called decimal preparatory coinage. Its purpose was to help the British public gradually become familiar with the sizes, values, and designs of the new system before the final switchover. As such, the 1968 dated 10 new pence coin is regarded as both a circulating coin and a commemorative milestone in British monetary history. It was struck in large quantities for circulation, yet it retains special status as the first date of issue in the series. From a technical specification standpoint, the 1968 10 new pence coin was struck in copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel, chosen for its durability and silver-like appearance. It measured 28.5 millimeters in diameter, had a weight of 11.31 grams, and a thickness of 2.25 millimeters, making it a large, heavy coin compared with today's modern 10p pieces. Its milled, reeded edge added a tactile feature to prevent counterfeiting and aided the visually impaired in distinguishing denominations. This size and weight were deliberately chosen to match the older 2-shilling, florin, coin, which was of the same value, 1/5 of a pound or 10 new pence, and already familiar to the public. This continuity helped ease confusion during the transition. The obverse, front side, of the coin bears the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Mackin OBE, which debuted in 1968 and replaced Mary Gillick's earlier effigy, used since 1953. This Mackin portrait shows the Queen facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic jewels. The portrait is admired for its youthful yet regal qualities, portraying the monarch in her mid-30s at a time when Britain was modernizing rapidly. Around the effigy runs the Latin legend, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1968, abbreviated from Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The date 1968 appears at the end, identifying it as the very first year of decimal 10p coinage. The reverse, backside, was designed by the renowned artist Christopher Ironside, who created the designs for the entire first decimal coinage set. It features a crowned lion passant guard ant, walking left with head turned outward, wearing a crown, a heraldic symbol strongly associated with England and the monarchy. The lion represents power, dignity, and continuity with Britain's heraldic tradition, while the crown emphasizes royal authority. Surrounding the design is the denomination inscription New Pence, with the numeral 10 placed boldly below the lion. The use of the word new was crucial in the early years, 1968 to 1981, to distinguish decimal coinage from pre-decimal equivalents, since some values overlapped with older coins. In terms of circulation and mintage, the 1968 10 new pence was struck in very large numbers, as it was distributed widely to the public in advance of decimalization, so people could become familiar with handling and spending the new coins. It was included in special pre-decimal sets distributed in 1968, often alongside the 5 new pence coin, and was also issued for general use. Because of its large mintage, it is not a rare coin in circulated condition today, though its status as the very first year of decimal coinage gives it historical and numismatic significance. Collectors particularly value brilliant uncirculated (BU) and proof strikes from Royal Mint sets, which can command higher premiums. Circulated examples usually retain only face value, 10 pence, while BU pieces range between £3 and £8, and high-quality proofs can be worth more depending on demand. From a historical perspective, the 1968 10 new pence coin represents one of the most important steps in Britain's monetary evolution. The decision to release these coins early allowed for a smoother transition to decimal currency on Decimal Day, February 15, 1971, when Britain officially abandoned the old pound SD system. By producing coins in advance, the Royal Mint ensured that shops, banks, and the general public were already accustomed to their appearance, weight, and value. The 1968 issue, therefore, is not just another date in the series but a key moment in modern British economic history and collectability terms. While not rare in circulated grades, the 1968 issue is often sought by collectors as the first of the line. For those assembling complete decimal sets or focusing on Queen Elizabeth II's coinage, this coin is indispensable. It also appeals to historians of British currency since it marks the transitional period between old and new money. Its large size, bold heraldic reverse, and Arnold Machin's elegant portrait of Elizabeth II make it one of the most attractive decimal coins ever produced. In conclusion, the 1968 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin is a large, silver-colored copper-nickel coin weighing 11.31 grams and measuring 28.5 millimeters across, featuring Arnold Machin's youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and Christopher Ironside's crowned lion passant guard ant on the reverse, with the inscription, New Pence. Although common in circulation, it holds a special place in British coinage history as the very first decimal 10p coin, issued ahead of the 1971 reform to prepare the nation for its new currency system. For collectors, it represents not only a monetary artifact but also a cultural milestone in the story of Britain's modernization under Queen Elizabeth II. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.